Is there, Tara Kartha, a message that has gone? And I want to come back to Balakot. I keep coming back to Balakot on dealing with Pakistan state-sponsored radical Islamist terror, because after that, there hasn't been a terror attack outside Jammu and Kashmir, like a 26/11, like a Delhi Red Fort attack, or a Parliament attack, or a Delhi High Court attack, or Jaipur attack, or an attack at IISc Bangalore, or an Ahmedabad attack. The rest of the country has been safe from Pakistan state-sponsored radical Islamist terror. Is that the only way? Impose costs on state sponsor of terror, whether it's Pakistan, whether Bangladesh is playing Pakistan's game, then impose costs? Or is the new threat, madam, actually the radicalization of local youth by the Maulanas and Maulvis sitting in Pakistan and Bangladesh, the online radicalization?
That's I think the Balakot, what it did is you refused to play their game. They had played a game with you for ages. You broke all the rules and said, we're not going to play this game anymore. That was Balakot. But please, in terms of Bangladesh, it's a different, Gaurav, it's different. Bangladesh, like I think General Hasnain said, you saw what happened in Maldives, right? Maldives went against us. They did all that stuff. And now they've come back to us. It usually happens in neighboring states. Smaller states will, when they come up, they start shouting at you. And then after some time, they come back. So that circle, you need to give Bangladesh enough time. However, I would caution one thing. Pakistan's game of terrorism is shifting. It is shifting in a way of coalescing a number of groups in Afghanistan and saying, oh, you know what? These are international terrorism groups. So you may have an attack which is not associated with Pakistan at all. It is sitting from Afghanistan somewhere. Apparently, it is international. And it attacks you. So what do? We have to strategize on this. It will not be a direct attack. It will be an indirect one. This game, like I said, is not over. You cannot control it while shutting your borders. It can't be done.
Okay. So no shutting of borders, but the radicalization of local youth, Professor Chilani and then General Bhatia, while India is building that highest bridge on the Chenab, the 14 tunnels, the 42,000 crore rupee projects that are happening, how do you change mindset of those who may be hostile?
There are these insidious forces at work. They are seeking to weigh down India, keep India boxed in. There are various forces, external forces that are seeking to weigh down India. So India faces these major challenges, ideological challenges from across the borders. We face geopolitical challenges from distant powers. These are issues that require longer-term thinking and longer-term planning. Unfortunately, in our system, we still remain quite ad hoc and reactive in our approach. That has to change. We need to plan and plan ahead. We need to have this kind of foresight and the resolve to do things in a planned manner, in a decisive manner. That decisiveness has to be created. It has to be inculcated in the system. And I think some of these deficiencies in our systems need to be addressed so that we are able to be proactive to at least to some extent. And we need to shed our risk averseness, our defensive posture, our defensive mindset. These have to be shed so that we can have a more dynamic, proactive approach.
Balakot
by
was
dynamic
the
and
template.
proactive, I do not mean
we were not defensive as a nation. Balakot showed that India was going to punish Pakistan, punish terror, call it a preemptive strike. Now, General Bhatia, is that your impression that, recently you had the Union Home Minister Amit Shah who spoke of 70% drop in terror, zero stone pelting, zero traction for separatists, 2.11 crore tourists, films being shot in Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Is that Naya Kashmir and Ladakh, are they actually happening in your view on ground? That now Pakistan cannot derail that growth story even if it wants to radicalize some local youth?
Gaurav, yes. I've seen Kashmir for half a century now. Right. And the last I went to Kashmir 2024 in the month of July. I spent 3 weeks there. I was staying in the civil. I was not staying in the army. And for the first time, I saw Srinagar and surrounding areas. I had my own car with my wife. The two of us drove everywhere in Srinagar, the outskirts, and we went to Uri, we went to Pelgaon, Sonamarg. And mind you, we couldn't park our car anywhere. The parking lots were full, the tourists were full, the eateries were full, the shops were full, the hotels were full, the cabs are not available. That is the Kashmir, the Srinagar, the valley which I saw, the Kashmir I saw. Right? I'm talking about July of 2024. For the first time, I have actually seen Srinagar. Otherwise, in the army, you're always on duty and you are always, about something. So this is the Srinagar we are talking about today. After 2019, 5th of August, things have changed. Unfortunately, the COVID put back the progress and the prosperity which has to come and the peace and stability. But what you see now, you see the silent majority now. They're no longer wanting anything to do with anyone. They're wanting their own welfare, their own economic development, the economic generation, the education. The schools are open. The schools are not. The first thing that used to happen in India, the schools used to close down. People used to come in the streets. They were paid 500 rupees. They would do stone pelting. It's not happening anymore. So we see a new Kashmir.
General Hussain, the last
second more. Going back to this, we need a strategy with Pakistan and Bangladesh. It has to be proactive. It has to be punitive. It has to be preemptive. They should know that there are costs and consequences. I'm not talking about China. I'm talking about Bangladesh, Pakistan.
yes.
Don't and let's not get rid of that fence will do it. I go with General Natasman totally on this. The fence is an obstacle. It has to be manned. And despite the fence of manning, you will still find people. Berlin Wall was, breached every day. So what are we talking about? This terrorist is difficult. You're blind. There's fog. There's rain. There's so many other factors coming in.
General Hussain, the last 30 seconds I have on this part of the show, I just want to understand from you, is this the emergence of a Naya Jammu and Kashmir and a Naya Ladakh? And even if Pakistan wants, can it derail it, or are the locals no longer with them? Can the locals still be radicalized like they were in 1990?
Gaurav, firstly, there is no doubt about it that we are well on the way to establishing the Naya Kashmir that we have always dreamt about. We have not yet reached there, I will say. We are on the way of progressing towards it. And there's always the possibility that something can happen to try and attempt to derail this. That is why I always express a word of caution in this and say, keep working hard. Let's keep making progress. But the possibility of something from the other side happening, Pakistan has not vanished. The terrorists have not vaporized, right? The separatists are still very much there. The deep state of Pakistan is there, very much existent. With all the factors which have always tried to make Kashmir a hellhole, they're still remaining there present. I think the possibility of a comeback always remains. And that's why we need to be always very, very cautious.
Cautious and stay a step ahead of terror and never hesitate to punish terror.